Hey everybody, welcome back to Rachel Reads. My name is Rachel. I love to read nerd Christian fiction, and today I'm doing the end of the year book tag, as well as celebrating my Booktube anniversary. So the day you are seeing this is actually my Booktube anniversary. It is not as the day I am filming this, but I do want to make a video coming out on the anniversary, and I thought I'll just do an end of the year book tag, just talking about everything I read. Well, not everything I read, but just like different things I read this year. And I will have a little segment about the anniversary at the end of the video, so yeah. Prompt number 1 is the most disappointing read of the year, and for that I'm going to say The One Who Knows Me by Joan and Bola. I'm not attacking this author by any means, but this is marketed as Christian fiction and has Christian faith in it. But then it cusses 3 times in 2 pages, which I don't believe Christians should cuss, even if it's a non-Christian character saying it. I don't think they should. I'm not going to dwell on it though, but that was probably the most disappointing. The next prompt is Underdog Book of the Year. And for that, I'm going to say Honey Butter by Millie Florence. This is middle grade fiction. There is a little bit of like a grief tone, so I just want to mention that, but it is very sweet middle grade fiction. It has a little bit of Christian content and it's very well done. It's a very short read, but I honestly love it so much. Prompt number 3, a book that was overhyped. For this, I think I'm going to say Meet Me in the Margins by Melissa Ferguson. This is not per se overhyped in a bad way, but personally for me, it was just not a book I was enjoying as I was reading it. And once again, I talked about this in a recent reads. Almost all of these books I have talked about in recent reads, so if you want to hear about them, it's probably one of those. But I don't want to say it was too overhyped. It's just, it wasn't for me, and I feel like I heard a lot of mixed things about it. So while it wasn't like overhyped, it definitely was like talked about a lot as people liked it or they didn't, or they had mixed opinions. Number 4, favorite book couples of the year. And I'm just going to name a few. I don't want to spend too long. I'm not going to mention any rereads just because that would take a while too. I think Brody and Izzy from Authentically Izzy, they were such a sweet couple and they were so fun, and I love seeing their story. I still haven't read book 2, but I still can't wait to read book 2 and book 3, so this is definitely one of my favorite couples. Another one is Chess and Alice. They are from The Wonderland Trials or The Curious Realities Duology by Sarah Ella. Y'all know I love this book and I love this duology, and they're one of my favorite book couples, so yeah, I really love them. Highly recommend. I also want to say the couple from First Date by Kristen McGee. I think it's Addie and John? I'm not really for sure. I'll put the correct name up on the screen, but they were such a sweet couple, and it was an Esther retelling, which is one of my favorites. Another book couple I loved was Kate and Oliver from Mind the Gap by Erin Mangum. Y'all know this is such a sweet book. I love it. I think Lindsay and Celestia definitely got me started on Erin Mangum, but yeah, they're such a sweet couple. I love all of Erin Mangum's books and couples and all that, so I highly recommend. Another book couple I loved was Logan and Emmy from The Shifting Current. This is a Coastal Guardian novella by Danny Petrie. I was really waiting for their book to come out, and it finally came out as a novella, and I still love them. Another one I love is the couple from Dangerous Beauty. I know the girl's name is Liliana. I cannot remember the guy's name for some reason, but they're such a sweet couple. Another favorite is Ben and Rosemary from The Story People by Heather Kaufman. I love them so much. They're such a sweet couple. They are amazing. They're one of my favorites. Kyle and Summer from No One to Trust. I've talked about this book so much. Y'all know I love them. Nutcracker and Clara from The Enchanted Sonata, as well as Berndy and Ella from The Reluctant Godfather. I have more to talk about in an upcoming video about these, but you heard it here first. I have read those books. Prompt number 5, favorite main characters of the year. I will say Clara from, I cannot think of what the series is called, The Dancing Girls by Sharon Hink. I think that's her name. I think it's Clara or Karia. One of those. I loved her as a main character. She was definitely strong-willed, but she had a beautiful story. Vivian from The Lost Melody by Miss Politano. I love her books, and Vivian was such an interesting character to follow. Liliana from Dangerous Beauty. She was so strong, and yeah. Inga from The Legendary Inga. She was such a strong character, and I loved following her story. It was super interesting. It was a Beowulf retelling, and I've only read like an excerpt, I think, from Beowulf, so yeah, I really loved it. Serena from the Serena Jones Mystery Series by Sandra Orchard. Y'all know I loved her. That was such a fun series, so yeah. Oh, Talia from the Griffin Heist. Y'all know I talked about this recently. And yeah, she's such a strong main character, and she goes through a lot, and it's just a great mystery. So good. Book that surprised you. I think I'm just going to go with a basic answer and say The Griffin Heist. I love this book so much. It was so well done. Because I previously DNF'd it, but I really just loved it and was so excited, and yeah, I loved it. I don't know, there's not much to say, but I wish it would become a movie. New favorite author you discovered in 2023. Janice Thompson. This year I'm pretty sure was the first time I had ever read a Janice Thompson book, and I love her books. They're so faith-filled, and they have some great faith content. There's also super sweet romances and just great stories, and it's like very southern Texas style, so they're super fun. Alison Tebow. I have read the Tales of Ambia and love them. I don't want to say too much because I want to like have a whole discussion about her because I love those books, so I will mention her quickly. Happiest read of the year. I'm going to say Off the Chain by Janice Thompson. This was such a cozy read, and while there is a mystery, it's not like a dark mystery. It's just very fun, very adventurous, very well done. Number 9, most frustrating book you read in 2023. I think I will once again stick with The One Who Knows Me by Joan Mbola. And there's another book I DNF'd called The Girl Who Could Breathe Underwater by Erin Bartels. Before I read it, I got it from the library, but before I read it, I looked on some people's reviews that I follow, and they were giving it really bad reviews for different reasons. So I think I like started the first chapter and like skimmed around, but I never started it because it was like really weird. So there's that. Best adaptation of the year. I'm assuming you mean retelling. I'll say The Curious Realities Duology by Sarah Ella. I've never liked the original Alice in Wonderland, but I read the first book, loved it, and I've seen the newer movie and I really liked it. So yeah, that adaptation or retelling, reimagining was really good. As well as The Enchanted Sonata by Heather Dixon Walwork. This is a Nutcracker retelling and I loved it so much. I want to talk about it more. Longest book I read this year, technically speaking, it was the complete novels of Jane Austen, but I never actually finished it. So I'm not really for sure what it would be besides that. But yeah, that's what it says on Goodreads anyways. The shortest book was Poppy's Peril by Alison Tebow. Such a good book. Y'all really should read it. My favorite covers, Legendary Ing by Kate Stradling. I love this cover. The one I read was ugly to say the least, but this nice cover is so beautiful. Words We Lost by Nicole Deese. I love this book. So pretty. Enchanted Sonata has a stunning cover as well, but book you haven't stopped thinking about, probably The Curious Realities Duology is like my basic answer just because I love it so much. As well as The Midnight Dance. That was a reread, but I still love it. As well as The Dancing Realms by Sharon Hink. I really think about those books a lot. Anything by Jen Toronto, Dangerous Beauty by Melissa Coslin, The Words We Lost, anything Janice Thompson, I always bring them back to mind because I love them so much. The Rosanna and White trilogy I read was really good. No One to Trust by Lene Eason, The Griffin Heist, and Married at Sunrise by Leah Humphreys. I also recently read this and we'll talk about it in a recent reads. Cringiest book you read this year. Kingdom series by Chuck Black. It wasn't cringy. It was actually pretty good, but it was like a direct retelling from the Bible. I want to try some of his other books, but this one was just like directly from the Bible. But other than that, it was fine. Popular book you loved. I think for this, I'm going to say A Song Unheard by Rosanna and White. This is book 2 in Shadows over England, and I don't hear a lot about it. So I'm not saying it's unpopular, but a lot of people don't talk about it, so I'll say I loved it. What was my highest and lowest rating on Goodreads? And my highest rated was The Hidden Prince by Tessa Afshar. And I do agree with it. I think it was really good. I loved it. So yeah. I don't have the lowest rated with me, so I cannot say for sure. Favorite quotes of the year? I don't honestly keep track of quotes unless it's in my review or if I like highlight it. So I don't have anything right now, but I will say Alison Tebow's writing, especially Burndy, he is hilarious. So anything he says is like sarcastic and funny, and I love it. Book with the most unique concept. I will admit, there's a lot. I'm gonna say Royal Masquerade by Alison Tebow. There's a lot. I'm gonna talk about a few. This is a Goose Girl retelling told from a different perspective, which I think was super interesting and very well done. As well as one of the short stories from A Flash of Magic. One of them is a Wild Swans retelling with a different point of view, also really well redone. Once again, Sarah Ella's duology this year had a really interesting concept and take on Alice in Wonderland, so I obviously loved it. The Legendary Ing, which is a Beowulf, loved it. Dangerous Beauty by Melissa Coslin tackles like a really heavy topic of human trafficking, so if that bothers you, I would not read it. But I think she does really well tackling that heavy topic. Book you read that you would reread. And I have read I did some rereads this year, so I won't mention any of those. But let me see. I would love to reread Sharon Hink's trilogy that I've talked about. I read it and I loved it. Would love to reread it. No One to Trust, The Griffin Heist. Yeah, I would reread a lot of books that I've read towards the end of the year. For some reason, they were just really, really good. Reading Goal Reflection in 2024 reading goal. So my goal was to read 120 books. I read 166. For next year, I want to read, like on Goodreads, I'll probably will just mark it as 100 books and kind of set the bar lower so that way I can it feels like I read more. But yeah, I think I'll just set it at 100. But this year I read 166 books. And the last prompt, after 2023, what are you prioritizing in 2024 reading wise? For me, I want to try to prioritize reading more like Christian fantasy and discovering Christian fantasy, dystopian, sci-fi, anything like that. I don't know if my library will have them, but I'm hoping to get them some way, whether I have to buy them or something. I know Candace Cade had a series, and I really want to try it, and there's a lot more and newer fantasy, dystopian books that are out that I want to reread. There's one by Allie Ernest. I think it's called Cities of Smoke and Starlight. I really want to try this book, as well as J.O. Knight's series. Let us end with a book tag, but I really want to quickly mention that I've hit 100 subscribers and have stayed at there, as well as the fact that it's my Booktube anniversary. So to commemorate this, I would like to do a Q&A. You can leave multiple questions down below on this video, and I'm also planning on having a community post about this. So you can leave multiple questions and just comment them down below, and I'm going to do my best maybe a few weeks away to answer all of these as like a 100 subscriber special and a Booktube anniversary special. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments and I will answer them, and you can leave them now. This probably will be up for at least a week or two before I start filming and answering them. So yeah, if you forget a question, you can always come back and comment it. So yeah, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope God bless you today, and I'll see you next time.